Alright everybody, how you doing? So I heard about Star Citizen all the way back in 2012. Immediately I knew that this was a game I was going to want to play. I've always played space adventure games here and there, but never got into too many of them. But I was determined to play this game. So in 2015, as soon as I got the money, I built my first PC. And I built it beefy as hell to make sure I'd never have limitations on my end while playing Black Desert, Star Citizen, and anything else I had planned. Or at least no limitations for a long time. Then I made my account on RSI and immediately did not play for years. Fast forward to May 19th, 2023, and I suddenly have the urge to play. I hop on the website to buy a ship because I already know some of the prices and which ones I plan to choose between, and that's when I learned about the Invictus launch week, 2953. Invictus Launch Week is an annual celebration in both game and in real life, by which I mean lore-wise and game-wise. As far as the lore goes, it's a week to celebrate the new recruits on the verge of beginning their new military career while also celebrating the newest spaceships and spaceship tech put on display for all to see. I mean, there's more to the lore, but it's basically an expo. As far as the game goes, it's a week that allows people to play for free without having to buy a game package, while also celebrating the newest spaceships and spaceship tech on display. This is the perfect time to try Star Citizen if you haven't already. So I did. Or at least I tried to the next day, but ran into some issue that wouldn't allow me to install the game. I wasn't paying attention until I decided to pay attention and realized that I needed to free up space on my SSD. This took me all day to realize. Anyway, I created my character, hated it, never good at character creation. Then I started the tutorial. Alright, here we go. Wake up in bed. Take a moment to collect yourself. Remember where you are. Remember what happened last night. Cat's on board. Press the Y key to get out of bed. Then watch your shadow get out of bed with you. That shadow is your companion. Next, open the menu to turn off the chat because you just know chat will annoy you with whatever dumb argument they're having. But then exit the menu with disappointment because you don't know that you have to turn off chat with F12, not the menu. Then just ignore chat as best you can until you figure that out. Learn that F1 is your movie glass where you can see your information. This includes your balance, your vitals, your vehicle status, and track mission status. You can also check your journal as well as the other tabs, but you don't understand that right now because you're so excited that you missed half the information about the journal. Next, learn that tapping the F key is for interacting with the world around you, and holding that key down puts you in interact mode to choose options for interacting. You've just learned how to drink. You've just learned how to eat. But before that, you've learned that you can't hold a drink in one hand and food in the other. You know that eating and drinking are both important. Do not store the bottle in the container. It's too big and will get stuck as too big things tend to do. Learn to leave. You love when you can walk in video games. You like walking in this game. You realize that walking in this game is a little too slow for what you want to do right now, but you also don't want to run, so you're torn between walking the whole way and your itchy shift finger because you, at this point in time, do not know that rolling the scroll wheel is how you can adjust your walk speed. But you do learn how to elevate. It's a people. Don't look stupid. There are other people in this world. Learn to not look stupid. Damn it. Learn that there are area maps to help you get around. Learn about the Cubby Blast, one of probably many shops where you can buy weapons and armor. There's that pesky walking dilemma again. Head into Cubby Blast to buy a helmet as this step requires, but actually missed this step because they didn't make the helmet a requirement at all, and you actually didn't see that you were supposed to get a helmet in the first place because you're too concerned with how to change your walk speed because you just know there has to be a way to change it. Try the shopping kiosk in the back. Get nothing because the chat that you've been trying to ignore the entire time has now gotten in the way of the game and you are done with it. So now you're looking for a way to get rid of chat. F12. And after you figure that out, you now have a new step and don't know why you were here in the first place. Leave the Cubby Blast. Don't go in that suspicious alley because muggings are still probably a thing in the future. Head to the transit because, oh my god, what the hell. Learn that the transit runs on a timer and you just missed the shuttle.
Oh, there's a shuttle coming.
Sit and wait for the next one.
Oh shit.
Get on the next one that shows up. Sit in the shuttle and enjoy the view.
This is nice. Hey, yo.
Get off the shuttle and realize that you're in a space horror movie or maybe a thriller. Make your way to the Fleet Manager Terminal. Make a request to deliver your ship to a hangar near you. Get the number for that hangar and take the elevator to that hangar. This would probably be the part where you might put on your helmet, but you don't know that. Who's to say? Get to your assigned hangar and take it all in. Enter your ship and take it all in. This would definitely maybe be the point where you might press the I key to go into your inventory to drag your helmet to your face, which would put on your helmet. But then again, maybe not. There's just really no telling since you don't know that there was a helmet involved. Enter your seat and press the R key to ready your ship. Press the left Alt key plus the N key to contact air traffic control for permission to take off. After the hatch opens, press the spacebar to lift off the ground, and N to retract your landing gear. Exit the hangar, and as you fly around, take it all in.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Follow the checkpoints out of the atmosphere. Learn that the scroll wheel changes the speed for the ships just as it does for walking. Perfect. C key for cruise control, shift to boost, Q and E to rotate. Learn quantum travel and reach the damn, I can never say this, Genie point.
Quantum drive is now on.
Contact the ATC. Find your hangar. Enter deploy landing gear. Don't look like an idiot. 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 And land.
Landing complete.
Take it all in.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Leave your ship. Head towards the elevator. Go back to your ship to close it. It's not necessary, but you're not a Neanderthal. Exit the elevator. Go to the Fleet Manager terminal and store your ship. You have completed the tutorial. Congratulations. Well, now what? I don't usually do tutorials. I've been playing games for long enough that I can mostly figure things out on my own. But every once in a while, I'll pick up a tutorial if I think that it's necessary. And knowing how immersive Star Citizen was aiming to be, I didn't really want to take my chances with figuring things out on my own. With all that being said, I had fun with this tutorial. All I really did was learn how to interact with the world, learn how to walk, learn how to fly. But just that much was very exciting, right down to landing. I've played more since the tutorial, and I've been having fun with Star Citizen, learning about the world and getting used to flying, landing, and exploring. And while there are things that I had to learn after the tutorial that I feel could have fit perfectly within the tutorial, I feel like the tutorial still did a pretty good job in showing me the ropes for just getting around at all. I still have a lot to learn, obviously, but I feel like the tutorial did a good job in walking me through what it had to teach me. Now, with all of that being said, I do have one thing about the tutorial that really just bugs the hell out of me. When you begin Star Citizen after you've created your character, you get to choose between multiple cities to be your primary residence. Your primary residence is your home. It's where you're from, and the different cities that you can choose from are pretty distinct from each other, not just in design. This option is pretty important as you are unable to change it later on. There are many opinions as to what is best, but really it's up to you. It's up to you. So, when the tutorial told me that Area 18 would automatically be set as my primary residence, I was hesitant. The only thing it said was that it would be automatically set. I didn't know if it meant permanently or if it meant just for the purposes of the tutorial. So I looked it up to see if this would be permanent. The issue was this tutorial feature was as new to the game as I was, but I didn't know that. So when I looked up the tutorial to see if the primary residence was permanent, I got absolutely nothing back on that search. Honestly, I didn't get much info on the tutorial at all, but again, because I didn't understand how new the tutorial was, I took this to mean that it must be a stupid question because obviously a tutorial wouldn't take away a choice that you would otherwise get to make, but I still wasn't sold because it wasn't obvious. So I decided to pick New Babbage to see what would happen. If I picked New Babbage and it started me in the game without much info or warning, well, I wanted New Babbage anyway, so there. And sure enough, after I clicked set as primary residence, I got a warning message saying that if I chose New Babbage as my primary residence, then it would become my primary residence. The game itself doesn't tell you before you choose that it can't be changed later. The only reason I already know is because I've looked up primary residence online after having already watched videos on Star Citizen in general. Not even specifically on how to start the game, just in general. But the fact that there was a warning message after I chose, coupled with what I already knew about primary residences, gave me almost all the information I needed, to be sure. This is probably why it was so obvious that there's no information about the tutorial online. It must be because the tutorial answers all of the questions on its own. The tutorial must have this warning just before starting too, and if it doesn't, it must be because it's not permanent. So I'll go back to the tutorial page, click play the tutorial, then I click Enter Star Citizen Universe option that has replaced the set as primary residence option. Now the game is loading. No warning message at all. Now I awake in my bed. Now I am done with the tutorial. Nothing. Walk around for a bit, turn the game off, turn it back on. Primary residence area 18. The tutorial message does not count as a warning, especially for players who are as new as I am, but who don't have the caution, skepticism, and knowledge that I have. And they shouldn't be expected to. While looking into whether or not I can change my primary residence, I found multiple answers stating that you can change your primary residence by changing your imprint, either by consultation at a hospital or a spawn terminal. Don't know what the hell that is, only to later find out that changing your imprint and changing your primary residence are two different things. Take it from someone who has only been playing for a week. Once you choose your primary residence, you cannot change it whatsoever. However, there is the character repair tool. That is the one answer that kept popping up while I was looking into all of this. Two problems though. The character repair tool has been down for a while now while they fix it due to issues. But even if it were up right now, apparently the character repair tool is used to reset your character and is something you're only supposed to use if the game is unplayable. As in, if your character gets trapped and there's no way to get it out or something like that. Well, now what? I decided to contact support. I hit them up, said, hey, new to the game, tried the tutorial, didn't know I wouldn't get to pick my PR, can I get help with this? The response I got was a copy and paste response that basically said, sorry man, the character repair tool is down, and since the repair tool is the same for both players and the staff can't reset for anyone right now. I had to look at my message because I was sure I didn't mention anything about the character repair tool. Whose question are you answering? Well, they were answering my question. If the character repair tool was functioning right now, that's what they would have used to allow me to choose another primary residence, which means we can use the repair tool to change our residence, I think. I don't know. But here's what I do know. What you choose as your primary residence isn't incredibly important to the game. It is itself important, of course, but I have been able to enjoy the game even in spite of the fact that I have Area 18 in the back of my head, taunting me, laughing at me, telling me my opinions don't matter. Anyway, it's not super serious, but it is an option I was supposed to have that I didn't get to have because I chose the tutorial. Maybe they'll have tutorials for all primary residences so that you can start wherever, but right now it's just Area 18. So here's the deal, and this is really just my opinion. If you're watching this, you haven't started playing yet, but plan to start soon, and you know where you want your primary residence to be, if it is in Area 18, honestly, just skip the tutorial for now. Even though I think the tutorial is great, there are actually many tutorials all over YouTube and even on the Roberts Space Industry support site itself that are a lot better and even tell you a lot more without taking away your choice of residence. On top of that, I'm sure in the future they'll have tutorials for other primary residences. But overall, every time there's a patch, except for this last patch of course, there is a wipe of player data. Sometimes that includes primary residences, but there's no real telling when that'll be. But like I said, the tutorial itself was fun, and I feel like it taught me what it wanted to teach me well enough for me to remember it. And I have been having fun with the game. Like, enough for me to buy a game package and continue having fun. I haven't yet, but I'm really considering it. This is partly what I built my PC for anyway. In any case, I'm gonna go play around more in the verse during this Invictus week. I've already missed half of it. I don't know if anyone's looking for this bit of information. I know I was before I picked the tutorial, but it wasn't there. I just wanted to talk about this real quick. If I've helped you out somehow, wow. But also, cool. Check out the game for a bit. There are only a few days left before the end of Invictus week, but I think it's definitely an experience worth trying for this week. And if you do decide to check it out, use my referral code. You'll get 5,000 United Earth credits. Unless you're gonna use someone else's code. That's cool too. I'm sorry, I'm new here. Also, before I go, apparently the repair tool is back up as of the posting of this video. So, if you did have the same issue I had, you can fix it now. Alright everybody, I'll catch y'all later.